All the picture frames on the walls would fall. All the pans would clang. The typical basic shit you see in like the beginning of The Conjuring. Like that shit was happening. And my mom was like, yeah, no, we're done with that. So we moved. Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode of Brutally Honest. We're doing a Halloween special and I'm super excited. It's my favorite time of the year. We're gonna do all things Halloween. We're gonna talk about my past costumes, what I'm gonna do this year, Dia de los Muertos. We're gonna call my sister because, believe it or not, I had a very interesting childhood. And no, I had a great childhood. It just happened to be very like paranormal, unfortunately. So I get into a lot of my stories from when I was younger, a lot of my paranormal stuff that was happening. And I called my sister because I know you guys aren't gonna believe me when I tell you these. So FaceTime my sister. She confirmed the stories. She said some of her own. And yeah, I mean, you guys get to meet my sister. So enjoy this week's episode. So I'm going to talk to you guys about my past costumes that I've worn because I think I've done a pretty good job. I think actually 2021, I kind of killed that year. It was really good. So I'm going to talk about all of my past costumes and then I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be this year because I'm very excited. And maybe I could give you guys some ideas if you're struggling to figure it out. Last year I was a fembot and it was really cute actually. I really liked that costume. I was just completely dressed in pink and I was so girly and cute and adorable and my tights were like all sparkly and I felt so cute in that. And then I super last minute was like a schoolgirl and then super last minute was a cheerleader. So it was like kind of lame. My other two were lame, but the fembot was really cute. And then the year before that, I was from La Casa de Papel. I don't know if you've seen that show. Anybody? Money Heist. It was me and Cooper's favorite show ever. Like we loved that show. So we were bank robbers from that show. And it was really cute. And it was so easy. Like I ordered a red like jumper and then we got the masks off of Amazon. It was like so easy. And it was so cool. It would have been cooler if we got like a bag of money or like a fake gun or, you know, we were like actual robbers, but we didn't do all that. And then I was Mavis. I was so excited about this. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I just never got myself to do it. But last year I was Mavis and my hair was really short and dark and I put blue contacts in and I recreated her exact outfit and it was so good and I loved it. Mavis from Hotel Transylvania. That's what I was. And I killed it. I always do 3 costumes every Halloween because there's always like 3 big things that I go to. And then my last one was a witch. I was Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Come on, guys. Give me some credit. That's so cute. That was like my last couple of years. Before that, I kind of sucked, honestly. I didn't take it that seriously. I started taking Halloween seriously like 3 years ago. Me and Kenzie are doing like a matching costume and it's going to be a whole thing. We're getting like styled hair, makeup, like actual photo shoot done. Like it's gonna be really cool and I'm very excited about it, but I can't tell you guys what it is yet because it's a surprise. And my solo costume, I'll tell you guys because whatever. I'm gonna be Shakira and I've been wanting to do this forever because when I was a little girl, my first language is Spanish, so I would listen to a lot of music in Spanish with my family. I remember the music video. It's like a bunch of her. There's like 20 Shakiras and they're all wearing these like little like mini skirts and like a tie and like a white button up and they all have like purple bobs in their hair. And I remember being little and just like sitting in front of the TV and watching this music video over and over and over again because I was so obsessed with this video and like the outfits, the hair. I thought she was so cool and I still do. So I've always wanted to recreate it. So this year I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna get a purple like wig installed, the whole thing. I am committed for this costume. Yeah, I'm very excited. Also, like that was like such a dead giveaway that like I was bi when I was little. Like I would just sit in front of the TV and watch these girls dance and be like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was actually talking about this the other day. I was like, how did my mom not figure that out? I just like watched it on repeat over and over again, or I would watch like Alicia Keys music videos and be like, wow. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. And then the last one I'm going to do is probably going to be like a trio costume with Anna and Emma because I feel like I have to do that. I was thinking Powerpuff Girls, but also like, everyone does that. I'm so excited about the Shakira costume. You guys have no idea. I am so pumped. And my parents don't know I'm doing that. They're going to love it because it's just like, it was so pivotal in my childhood was this Shakira music video. I was obsessed with it. What if Shakira sees it? That would be so cool. Those are the costumes I have planned out this year. I can't tell you guys what me and Kenzie are doing. I can't. It has to be a surprise. But I'm very excited about it. The thing is, like, with Halloween in Los Angeles is people don't mess around. Like, it's a big deal here. It's like the Hunger Games. It's like crazy. It's this huge competition and everyone's just like going crazy and nuts. But also, I don't even have plans. Like, I'm not doing anything. Actually, I do. My friend Chase has like a Halloween party every year and he always has a costume contest. And I've never like actually like dressed up enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna win this contest. But this year I'm committed. I kind of want to win. But also like if you didn't listen to Shakira like that, you're not gonna know who I am. But if you did, like the very niche group of people that will know my costume are gonna be like, wow, that's so cool. For the past 3 Halloweens, I always end up going to 3 things. I don't know why. There's just always 3 things. So I just prepare myself by getting 3 costumes just in case. And then I always end up using all 3 of them. So I have 3 planned out and I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, but I'm sure I'll end up doing something where I can wear all 3 of them. Parties in LA are weird. I just think it's like funny because a lot of the time everyone just kind of like stares at each other and it's like weird. Now let's take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors today at HelloFresh. I can't believe we're already into fall, and if you're like me, my schedule has been super packed. It's a challenge to make healthy dinners for myself each night between filming, travel, brand deals, and hanging out with friends. But with HelloFresh, I'm able to have all my shopping and meal planning done for me, with fresh ingredients that arrive right to my doorstep, complete with step-by-step visual recipe cards, which is truly a lifesaver. I can always count on HelloFresh to help me make home-cooked meals without ever having to set foot in a grocery store. Plus, with their quick and easy options, ready in 15 minutes or less, and 40 recipes to choose from each week, I'm never bored and constantly thinking of cool new recipes to try. I'm obsessed with their fall flavor lineup with treats like their apple cider cake with caramel sauce and their mini pumpkin cheesecakes. HelloFresh lets you have it all, free time and fresh and tasty meals with vegan and protein smart options so I can plan my cozy fall nights without any stress. Go to hellofresh.com/50brutallyhonest and use code 50brutallyhonest for 50% off plus free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/50brutallyhonest with the code 50brutallyhonest for 50% off plus free shipping. Come experience why HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Now onto the show. I was a really weird kid. Like I was a very weird kid and I loved horror. Like my entire life. I love horror and horror movies are my favorite. I actually did an episode with Luna and she was like talking to me about all these like rom-coms and stuff. And I was like, oh, I have never seen any of these. Like very, very basic, like you have to watch rom-coms like Mamma Mia. Like I've never seen Mamma Mia. And then I was thinking about it and I was like, why have I not seen any of these movies? And it's because my sister, I was her little like minion. I would do anything she did. Anything. Like anything she did, I wanted to be her. I wanted to copy her. I did everything she did. So she was weird. Honestly, we were all kind of weird. And she liked to watch like Insidious and The Conjuring and like Saw. She loved the Saw franchise. So little Sabrina, like 10-year-old Sabrina, is like watching the Saw franchise. And that's what I grew up on. Not Mamma Mia. I grew up on like Saw. So I love scary movies. And Halloween has always been my favorite. It's always been my sister's favorite. Also, like my older siblings were both born in October. So they always have like Halloween-based birthday parties and stuff. Halloween was just always very like fun to me and my family. But it wasn't just me, like me and my older sister, like all of us loved horror movies. We loved Halloween. Like it was just our thing. And we just would gravitate towards those movies instead of like normal movies that children should be watching. And my parents are super cool. Like they're very, very cool. And they liked us to express ourselves. So they were like, sure, watch Saw. I love Halloween. It was always like my favorite holiday, and my family would like decorate the shit out of my house. Like it was always just covered in like spider webs, and we would always invest in so many decorations. I love Halloween. It's like my favorite time of the year. And like pumpkin spice lattes, like come on. It's so right up my alley. And I don't care what anyone says about it because it's so good. I also worked at Starbucks for 2 years, so I love Starbucks. And everyone hates it, and I get it. But I mean, it was like pivotal in my adolescence, so I love Starbucks. I'm Mexican, so Dia de los Muertos, like the food. I know that's like not the point, but that's like what I'm thinking of is the food. Like the conchas. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. It's like my favorite thing. Also, Coco was a really great movie. Just off topic, but like that's what Dia de los Muertos makes me think of. I also don't like candy, which is crazy. I don't like candy. I always have this conversation with people, like especially when I'm like, well, okay, I say this like I go on dates. I don't, but like the couple of times that I've been on a date, everyone's like, do you want dessert? And I'm like, no. And then everyone's like, you don't like dessert? I'm like, no. And it's this whole thing. But I have a theory because my mom said she craved a lot of salty food when she was pregnant with me. And then I came out and I love salty food. Like I could eat a bag of chips. I would rather eat a bag of chips for dessert than like a piece of cake, which is so weird. But that's just how I am. I don't like candy. I don't like desserts. It's really, oh my God, breakfast foods. That makes no sense to me. Like you have to eat eggs for breakfast. Why are we eating like French toast and shit? Like I mean, I'm being a hater. Like honestly, eat whatever you want. I'm sure it's delicious. It's just not my thing. I don't know. Does that make sense? Yeah, it probably doesn't. Everyone likes French toast. Anyway, so Halloween, like I loved it. I loved Halloween growing up, but I just didn't eat the candy really. I mean, I kind of liked Reese's cups because they're not that sweet. So we would all go trick-or-treating and then dump all the candy in the middle and then we would like trade. You know, we would all trade the candy. Now let's take a minute to hear from our sponsors today at Nuuly. Fall is here and I've already started planning out a new wardrobe, but if you're like me, sometimes it's hard to know where to start. Nuuly is a subscription clothing rental service that's all about helping you have fun and get creative with your style. For just $98 a month, you get access to trending fall pieces delivered right to your doorstep. Whether you're feeling a cute tailored blazer moment, chunky knits, or formal dresses, Nuuly has whatever you need for every occasion. How it works is you get to choose 6 styles each month based on your occasion, and you get free access to thousands of styles from more than 400 brands, from party dresses to premium denim and one-of-a-kind vintage pieces. Nuuly carries labels like Free People, Selkie, Farm Rio, Anthropology, Aloki, Madewell, and Agoldi, and offers inclusive sizing up to 5 times, as well as petite and maternity. With fast free shipping and returns, as well as professional cleaning in their state-of-the-art laundry facility, Nuuly has thought of it all. And you always have the option to buy something if you really love it. Sometimes up to 70% off. Nuuly gives you everything you need to get inspired, get creative, and explore your style without making commitments. No buyer's remorse here and no hidden late fees or damage fees. So no big deal if you lose a button, spill something, or just need to take a break. Nuuly is a great value at $98 a month for any 6 styles, but right now you can get $20 off your first month of Nuuly when you sign up with the code BrutallyHonest20. Just go to nuuly.com, that's Nuuly with 2 U's, and enter the code BrutallyHonest20 and sign up to get $20 off your first month. That's nuuly.com, Nuuly with 2 U's, with code BrutallyHonest20. Nuuly subscription clothing rental. Change your clothes. Anyway, let's get into the ghost stories. When I lived in Texas, I lived in this really big house. Because, I mean, Texas. I lived in a big house. It was like me upstairs. And then my younger brother was like next door to me. And then across the hall was my sister and my older brother was downstairs. Okay? This is important. So my room was the room that nobody would ever sleep in. But of course, like, let's give it to Sabrina. Nobody would sleep in this room. It was such a scary room for some reason. Like, the vibes in there were just bad. And then my brother that was next door to me, his room was freaky too. I'm not making any of the shit up, I swear. Like, my family can attest that this was real. So my room was just so weird, and I had this really big walk-in closet. Like, my closet was really big for some reason. So I would sleep, and like when you would sleep in my room, you would hear like footsteps moving around in the closet all the time. I'm not even like kidding. This is real. You would hear footsteps in the closet when you would sleep in my room. And you know what? I kind of think that this is my fault because one day my little dumbass thought it would be so funny and like, girls' night, let's do a Ouija board. Right. I'm 12 years old. Like, why did we do that? And then after that, freaky shit started happening. So don't play with Ouija boards. It's a bad idea. Also, my parents don't even know that. They're going to kill me because they were like, what is happening? And I was like, what? I don't know. It was totally my fault. Why would I play with a Ouija board? Like, come on. You know better than that. Anyway, you would hear people walking around in the closet, like in my room. And then when I would sleep, and I would always sleep with my head under the covers because I was scared. So if I didn't see it, out of sight, out of mind. Like if I didn't see it, it's cool. But when I would put my head under the covers, I would like hear footsteps walking around my bed. And then I would like feel my bed dip on the sides, like all the time. My bed would dip on one side or dip on the other side because I slept in the middle. And like the sheets would move. And I would just like I would just lay there under the covers and like not say anything. Oh my God, I've never talked about this before. That was my room. Everyone in my family refused to sleep in there. People, like my brothers and sisters wouldn't even go in there. But I had slept there every day, which is good. My brother that was next door, he would sleep as well. Like he would go to bed, head under the covers because our house was freaky. And his door would just swing open, slam shut, swing open, slam shut all night. And no one believed him because he was like 7. So everyone's like, yeah, whatever, Sam. And eventually my sister's like, okay, fine. Like, let's see. She sleeps in his room, the door swinging open, slamming shut. And then she was like, hey, Mom, something's up with his door. And she's like, oh, right. She sleeps in his room. Door's doing the same thing. And so my sister and my brother switched rooms because we were like, that's really weird. And he was a baby. Then I have so many stories. This doesn't happen anymore, guys, but it did for a while. My family had so many crazy things happening. My dad also, and he won't talk about it. Like he refuses to talk about this because it freaks him out. Like he won't talk about it. But his siblings, because my dad's like one of like a million. There's so many of them. And his siblings will like they'll all tell you the same story. But my dad won't talk about it. I don't know the full story because he won't talk about it. But they basically thought they had a nanny and like would see this like nanny all the time and like talk to her and like I'll just be like, yeah, like nanny, whatever. And there was no nanny. Like their mom, my grandma was like, hey, yeah, no, we don't have a nanny. So that was freaky. When me and my siblings were like babies, because it goes like my brother's 23 and then 22, then 21. So we were like boom, boom, boom. We were all just babies together. And my dad will tell me that he would always hear, because we moved from the first house to a different house because of how freaky it was over there. And then the second house was just as freaky. The house I lived in now, like the last house I lived in Florida was not freaky though. So that was fine. My parents would go to bed and then like me and my sister slept in the same room. And then my brother had his own room. And they would like hear our little footsteps come over and like feel our little hands, like touch their feet to try to wake them up. And then my mom would be like, oh, like they need something, get up, no one's there. Go to the room, we're all asleep. Like that type of shit would happen. All the picture frames on the walls would fall. Like all the pans would clang. Like the typical basic shit you see in like the beginning of The Conjuring. Like that shit was happening. And my mom was like, yeah, no, we're done with that. So we moved. The second house was just as bad, but it was weirdly just in my room. It was so funny because when I was little, my sister gets really bad sleep paralysis. And when I was little, we would sleep in the same bed because we were scared. And we would always like play this game, like not even a game. We would just like try to get our feet like as high up on the bed as possible because we were scared that we're just going to get dragged right out of bed. So we would always do that. But we never talked about why we were doing that. And we would see things. Like I would see things and she would see things. And we would always see the same like kind of figure like in our room. But we never talked about it. We would just like, because my family's very much like, oh, it's fine. Ignore the problem. It'll go away. So we never talked about it up until a couple of years ago. We actually were fine. I was like, hey, did you ever like see that thing in our room? And she was like, yeah, I did. That's why I would always put my feet up on the bed. And I was like, me too. And it's really crazy because we were both seeing the same thing growing up, like every night, but we never talked about it until we were like older. There was one time, actually, I was not a part of this because I couldn't roller skate, so I wasn't a part of this. But my brother and sister were roller skating. You know, we lived in this neighborhood and we would all go outside and like play in the cul-de-sac, that type of shit. Like very like wholesome. And they were roller skating and they go inside to get water. And everyone's outside. Nobody's in the house except my 2 older siblings. And they have their little roller skates on. They're like trying to get water, but they can't really roller skate either. Like they were just like playing around. So it's not like they could skate away super fast. So they hear my door, because my room was haunted. I'm telling you, my door slams shut and they hear footsteps running from my room all the way across like the top floor to my parents' room. They hear that door slam shut and they're freaking the out trying to run away, but they have roller skates on, so they're like falling on top of each other, like screaming. I wasn't there, but they tell that story. There's more. Should I ask my sister? Should I like call her? Oh, and also that like thing I told you guys that I would see when I was little, that my sister would also see, is the same thing she sees when she gets sleep paralysis, like to this day. It's like a woman. I like didn't want to say it because it sounds so corny and it sounds so fake, but it's like a woman. And it's also funny because when my dad talks about what he would see when he was little, it's like the same thing that we see. So pretty weird and crazy. Hi, I'm recording a podcast. We're doing a Halloween episode and I'm telling our ghost stories from when we were little. I told them the roller skate story when you guys were skating downstairs and like heard people running.
Yeah, that was scary. But, like, the lady, do you remember that?
Yes! Thank you for saying that. I'm not making this up, I swear. Do you want to tell them about your sleep paralysis and how like every time you'd close your eyes, she'd get closer to you?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's scary.
You want to tell them?
Okay.
Guys, this is my sister Nicole.
Hi, everybody. So, basically, the same lady that me and Sabrina would see with our own eyes awake.
Yeah.
Because at one point, Sabrina started sleeping in my room. She had her own room.
I was scared.
She started sleeping, but I don't get why we kept sleeping in the room with the lady.
Yeah, why? Honest. Well, because my room was worse, remember?
I don't remember that. Honestly, I don't know. But we were sleeping in my room and we'd see her, and then it got to the point where I was like, hey, Sab, are we seeing this? And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So then I started getting sleep paralysis, and then I would see the same lady. And this happened like up to my teens, like until like the last time it happened to me was like last year. And I would see her, and it was so scary because I couldn't move. And I'm also like super claustrophobic, so it was like so much worse. And I could like see my clock like ticking like minute after minute. So I like was in real time watching it, and then the lady would be in my room, and every time I would look away from her, she would like get closer. So I just had to stare at her the whole time. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, but she never did anything.
She was chill. Like she was kind of cool. Yeah. She was just really scary.
And then I moved in here with Bray, and it was the only time it happened like outside of our family house. And
I blame Dad for all of this.
No, literally, I saw her, and then I woke up because Bray heard me like struggling, because I was like, dang, she's like right there next to me.
Dang.
He didn't believe me, and then I told him exactly what he was doing while I was asleep, eyes closed. Like I was watching him while my eyes were closed asleep, and I told him exactly what had happened, and he was like, holy shit.
Yeah, we're not making this shit up. Like I had a really crazy like home at some point, and it was really insane.
Well, it happened in Mexico too, in the blue house.
Yeah, I remember. Like this woman followed us to like multiple houses.
And that's the woman that Dad saw when he was
That's
little.
what I said. That's what I said.
Yep. Like my aunt won't talk about it. She'll like cry.
I was just saying this. And like when you go to their house in Mexico, like you're not allowed to go to the attic. Like you're not allowed to go upstairs. It's like closed off.
My grandpa had like this library of like, he wasn't like weird or anything. He's like a worshiper, but he had like just like dark books that he found interesting. And I think that's where it started, dude.
Yeah, that definitely is where it started. I think it was because Dad the youngest?
No.
He was the youngest boy, no?
Honestly, there's so many.
I don't know. But there's like this whole thing where like spirits like that like target the weakest. Have you guys heard that? No. Have y'all never seen Insidious? Can you think of any other stories? I can't really think of any more.
I'm trying to think. Some weird shit would always just happen.
Yeah. Like shit would just turn on, like the blenders would just turn on and like lights would turn off or like
I will say the realest thing. Like yes, the lady was scary, but I feel like we just got used to it, so she didn't really scare me that bad. That wasn't even the weird part. Like I fully accepted her. She was okay.
I accepted her.
feel like
too.
If she wanted to hurt me, she had plenty of opportunities.
I accepted her as well at some point. I was like, oh, hey, good night.
I feel like she was watching over us.
I don't know about that.
Weirdly, why? She would have hurt us.
Yeah, no, I mean, she didn't.
Like, what if she lost her kids one day? Like, her little Mexican babies.
Well, she got them back. She got them back.
True. I don't know. Sometimes I'm scared that it'll happen again. Or, like, I'll hear something and I'm like, Bray, wake up, because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, nothing has happened. Well, no, that's not true. Things happen in my apartment for sure. But, like, I haven't seen her since I moved out. This is a crazy conversation. I'm happy you confirmed this for everyone. Because as I was saying the story, I was like, this doesn't sound real. But I needed.
No, it's real, and it's weird telling people because it sounds like bullshit, and it's like, no, I swear. Remember when we watched The Conjuring, and I was like, oh, I'm going to prank mom and dad? And then we were at the movie theaters, and I ran home. I got under their bed, and you know how they, like, had, like, the cross above their
I remember
bed?
this. Yeah.
And I went under their bed, and I waited till, like, they got tucked in and everything, and I wanted to be cute and funny and, like, clap. Dude, that cross fell straight into my face and hit me. Like, it fell from the wall and it hit me in the head under the bed, and I started screaming, and then mom and dad were like, well, mom started screaming and dad was like, Nicole, stop. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, that was so stupid.
And yeah, that was scary because it's like the cross straight up smacked me in the face.
Yeah, there's a lot, and then like we would just always have like bruises and stuff, and it was just like not chill.
It really wasn't. And I remember me playing a game with you because we would like try to put our feet up because like that lady was just staring at us asleep.
I like vividly remember that game.
Yeah, but then I like made up. I was like, there's like a purple monster with polka dots that's gonna eat your toes, Sabrina. So we have to keep our feet up. And we would just keep trying to keep our feet up because I was like, I think that was before I was like, that's the lady there. So I was like, there's a little purple monster, Sabrina. We need to keep her feet up.
We would like make it a game. It wasn't funny though. It was not a fun game.
It wasn't. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like,
damn.
Wow.
Yeah, me too. Why the did dad like not move us out of that house sooner?
Wow.
Anyway.
Because he was going to Mexico all the time. So he wasn't.
Yeah, he didn't know. Okay. Anyway, thanks for confirming the story.
No problem. This validates me. Like.
Yeah, no, it validates me as well. I'm glad we're talking about this. This feels like I'm in therapy.
Yeah, because it happened. And people are like, I don't believe in ghosts. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to say anything.
No, because every time we talk about it, it like starts happening again. So that's good. Glad you guys are enjoying this episode. This is good.
Getting sleep paralysis.
Literally, like, I'll be seeing her tonight. I'm kidding. That was a joke, guys. I'm kidding. That was a joke. Anyway, okay, I love you.
All right, love you.
All right, bye. Wow, that was so validating because I know you guys are not going to believe me. I know you guys are going to think I am making this shit up, but I am not making this shit up. My childhood was a little crazy with the supernatural shit that was going on. But it's all good. It really is because nothing bad ever really happened. It was just freaky and scary. But it made me really infatuated with like Halloween. I love Halloween, guys. I love Halloween. Back to the theme of this episode. Yeah. I believe in all of it. Like all of the like spiritual, like supernatural stuff I believe in because I was like, living it for a while. But we did sage and stuff and like we like did all of that. But mainly my mom would just be like, we gotta go. Like that first house with like the pictures and like the kitchen and like the courtyard that my sister was talking about, that was probably the worst one. So we moved because of it. And then the second house was bad as well. And then the third house was bad as well. But the house, when we moved to Florida, it kind of calmed down a little bit because we lived in a smaller house. So we were like all very near each other. So I was never alone in that house. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I've never talked about that before, actually. That was like such a pivotal part of my like childhood. And I've never actually talked about that online or to my friends. My friends don't even know about that. Because no one believes me. No one believes me. But I'm glad my sister confirmed the stories. I couldn't really call. My younger brother would probably confirm as well. But my older brother was like he got so lucky. He was like downstairs in his bedroom. Like didn't even know what the was going on half the time. I'm like being haunted upstairs. He had no idea. Actually, I'm sure he saw some shit too. But I don't want to like invalidate his journey. Like, I'm sure he saw some stuff as well. Oh, also, oh my gosh, sorry guys. This is so crazy to talk about. My sister and my mom and me would also always wake up at 3 a.m., like at the same time every night. Like we'd just wake up, which is like not a good number. It's the witching hour. Crazy. There's a lot of stories, but I could go on for like a while. It was just really insane. And my dad probably won't even like watch this episode. Okay, guys, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We, relived my trauma together. It was really fun. I actually really enjoyed this. So if you guys want a part 2, comment down below. I would love to do that. And we can get in detail about all of this because there's so many stories. I can honestly probably go and like talk to my family about it and like gather more stories because I'm sure there's so many from like my mom's perspective and my brother's perspective. There was a lot. There was a lot of them. That house was crazy. That house was insane. Let me know if you guys believe me or if you think I'm lying. Because I feel like most people hear the story and they're like, bullshit. Swear it was real. You guys can watch the video format of this episode on Past Your Bedtime's YouTube channel, and you can stream it on all streaming platforms. You can follow me at Sab Queseda on everything, Sabrina Queseda on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and happy Halloween. Ooh, spooky. Ooh.